Came across an interesting video there at the weekend. As you do, I was surfing YouTube and taking a look at various videos. But one in particular that I came across, I thought was interesting, and I'd be interested to hear what people's views are. And it's to do with the reaction of people, how you should react to somebody, an anti-vaxxer, for example, who dies of COVID-19. The particular video in question is the video you see on the screen there. It's on CNN. It's Michael Smerconish has a program, or has some sort of a program there. He does an interview, but I think it's worth watching the first video, or the first minute or two of the video, and then I'll take it up. We'll just have a look at it here.
Moral question peculiar to these days. Is it wrong to mock people who publicly crusade against the COVID vaccine and then die of the disease? Or does it drive home the message about saving lives? There are entire websites that are devoted to such mockery. SorryAntiVaxxer.com gleefully tallies stories and photos of anti-vaccine advocates who end up in the ICU, intubated, and/or dead from the disease. One recent case of this kind of tasteless taunting spurred two dueling opinion pieces in the Los Angeles Times. Orange County Republican Kelly Earnby, a former assistant DA and state assembly candidate who had lobbied publicly against the COVID vaccines, passed away earlier this month at age 46 from COVID complications. She was unvaccinated. Earnby's death unleashed a torrent of reaction on the internet. On her own Facebook page, under a Christmas collage that she had posted, there are now more than 4,600 comments. Some are sympathy notes. Many others are not. In response to the piling on, LA Times columnist Nicholas Goldberg wrote, "I don't understand how crowing over the death of others furthers useful debate or increases vaccination rates." But a few days later, Goldberg's colleague Michael Hiltzig published a column expressing the exact opposite. Quote, "Mocking anti-vaxxers' COVID deaths is ghoulish, yes, but may be necessary." Michael Hiltzig joins me now. He's the LA Times business columnist. He's also a Pulitzer Prize winner. Michael, let's make clear at the outset, you are not talking about the everyday people who don't get vaxxed, sadly contract COVID and die. You're talking about people with a platform, right?
That's correct, Michael. In my column, I made a distinction. I pointed out that the unvaccinated really fall into three categories. There are those.
The video goes on then for 5 or 6 minutes. It's an 8-minute video, and that Michael Hiltzig, he's the business columnist with the Los Angeles Times, LA Times, but he's a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist apparently as well. But the question I'm wondering about is sympathy or mockery. How should we react to people who die of COVID-19 and who have been virulently anti-vax during their life, who have campaigned vigorously to prevent vaccinations? Should we overlook the good that they do? Should we overlook the other things they may have done? Or should we hold them up as a sort of an example, as a modern day, effigy hanging from a tree, as it were, like a Ku Klux Klan victim, when they pass away, or if they pass away from COVID-19? I'd be interested in the reaction to this, sympathy or mockery. How should we react to people, persons, families who suffer from perhaps a death as a consequence of COVID-19, that person having been strongly anti-vax all of their life and who have campaigned? That lady in question, I think in LA County in California or wherever it was, she campaigned vigorously against all sorts of vaccinations, apparently. Anyway, I'd be interested to hear your view. I will leave a link to that particular video, the CNN video, underneath this video of mine on YouTube. You can take a look at it. You're as well off, probably, before you're commenting on my video and giving your opinion, you're as well off to watch the entire video. It's only 8 minutes and 41 seconds. I think it's an interesting debate. I think it's interesting, this concept of not speaking ill of the dead and so on, or should in fact we hold them up as shining examples of what not to do? Anyway, I'd be interested to hear your view. You can stick your comment in the box down below, but I would ask you just to read or to watch that video first from CNN. And as I say, I'll leave a link underneath this video on the on YouTube.